Race fans, good evening and welcome to Daytona, the mecca of world racing right here in the Roman City of Florida. As Racers Elites presents some Craftsman truck racing. Great way to kick the weekend off. Tonight time is the right time in prime time, of course, right here on Ghost Racing Network. Matt Metler up in the booth as always, and already we have some high-flying, high-octane racing action out there on the racetrack. Is Kensley Smith, no surprise, out there currently leading the two crazy trains right now as we are working lap 11 of 80. This race has been a door-to-door high-octane thriller since the initial drop of the green flag. Kensley Smith works the bottom lane on the outside, I believe led by Todd Swanson in the 22 ride. Big time move there from the 23, courtesy of the shovel as Dave Regal likes to coin it on SRM. That top lane acts as a feeder to the bottom, and you see, Kensley Smith had his hands full there as that 24 lost some momentum there as he made that transfer down to the bottom lane in the 11 of Chris Balsey was absolutely to the back of Kensley Smith. They did a great job of holding that together. And that bottom lane is just so beautifully put together right now, and you can see the results of that out on the racetrack as they get a massive run and surge ahead. So it's going to be Jason Burdick, Kensley Smith, Crest Bassey, Brandon Honeycutt, and Alex Teft in the 43, as he's already up 11 spots from the drop of the green flag. In fact, let's go on board with the man the myth himself, Alex Teft, as he shows us how to get around this place. You can see him working the bottom there, getting a big-time push. And this, of course, adds speeds over 200 miles an hour. Curious how fast he's rolling right now. Let's throw up his telemetry for everybody at home. It's going to appear in the bottom right-hand corner. Got his hands full there a little bit, probably taking a big push. In fact, you want to see just how crazy the Hornet's Nest is behind him. Let's go ahead and flip the GoPro camera around, and there you go. Racked and stacked 2x2 trench warfare style here at Daytona. This year on board with the head cook chief and bottle washer, Alex Teft, doing a great job thus far. Now working 15 laps of competition.
Yeah, I know, especially in New England area, like a New Hampshire race.
I want to thank Alex for all the hard work, attention, and time that he gives this league. There's so much in the Racers Elite and everything that they have to offer. If you're looking for any form of racing, Racers Elite really has you covered. Anything iRacing, great people, phenomenal drivers, awesome talent. You're looking for trucks, modifieds, Xfinity Series. You're looking for the next-gen cars. You're looking for money racing. Hey, we got that covered as well. Right here in Racers Elite. So reach out to Andrew Teft, I'm sorry. Jump on their website. That can get you pointed into the Discord. Again, Racers Elite, your home for all things iRacing. They definitely have it going on. Kensley Smith, of course, from North Carolina, the Tar Heel. Always a formidable force here at Daytona. See what's at the bottom. Ooh, he caught a piece of the apron there. Got to be careful with that. That's a great way to upset the balance on that truck. And remember, when you come off that banking, it's not progressive. It goes from a bank to flat, and that really upsets the truck. You can easily lose the back of it, especially water the entire field. So great piece of driving there displayed again by Kinsley Smith. See this outside lane trying to get some momentum rolling. That's being led by the 11 of Bassi. Oh, and just as I say that, a big-time power move from the 43 is going to send the Home Depot up to the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. He takes over command of that outside lane. In fact, while we're approaching lap 20, let's go ahead and go on board with the drivers and run you through the field. As they run right now. Currently leading is going to be the 23 of Jason Burdick. He's had a great truck thus far through competition. In second, Chris Bassi. Or Blassie, I apologize for that. In that third place position, Kinsley Smith going at it door to door right now. He's also contending for the podium right now as their positions are flip-flopping real time. Kirby Wainscott, the Spartan, often ripping the KFC paint scheme on the truck. Having a phenomenal run here right now. Second biggest mover of the race, up 11 positions. He's inside the top 5 right now. Honeycutt, the Brandon version. The Tennessee man. Got some of that smooth whiskey and moves out there on the racetrack. Ooh, big time Indy Snake there on the high side of the racetrack as Brandon runs in 7th. Andrew Teft, currently right now holding on to the top 10 in 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Andrew Marquise as they run right now. Truth Hope in the 11th place position right now in the 55 ride. From Hickory, North Carolina, another NC man representing in competition here tonight. Dwayne McMahon in the 33. Kannapolis, North Carolina. He is like the birthplace of NASCAR. Or the heart of NASCAR country, I should say. Kannapolis, that's where, a lot of the the most famous race shops, Richard Childress Racing, that's where Dale Earnhardt Sr., Jr. grew up. He also makes some great furniture out there in that part of the nation, too. But, you can't get any closer to the heart of NASCAR than Kannapolis, in my opinion. Richard Ode currently in that 14th place position in the 78 ride. Shane Trotter in the 38 as he's probably trying to avoid the big one here, running a little bit further on back in the pack in 15. 16th belongs to Todd Swanson. 65 Ryder Zimmerman resides in 17th. Well, Rower Lloyd. Got to be careful here. You don't lose the lead draft. These trucks here, once you get about a second ahead, it's really easy to lose that draft, and your performance will drastically fall off. Is you have to have a dance partner. You got to have a battle buddy out here at Daytona. And thank God for Kyle Hess, as he's currently pulling the caboose duty right now. He is in the rear with the gear. And the 68, look for him to make big moves here as this race goes on. He knows how to get it done here at Daytona. So we now send the action back up front. Jesus is going on here with timing and scoring. Apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently it wanted to puke itself. We'll get that cleaned up here. There we go. Kinsley Smith remains dedicated, supporting the cause, working with Big Boy out in front. Love the broadcast candy on that truck. The 23 looking good out there under the lights at Daytona. Well, we're working lap 24 of 80. We're going to step away, take our first break, but you're not going to miss anything. We're going to go all-out coverage right here on Ghost Racing Network.
It's about to blow up, Alex. That Octane engine carried in a quick.
My bad. I think that was my fault.
And as we cut in out of all-out coverage, boom goes the dynamite as the first caution for incident this evening currently strikes on the racetrack. As we break in from our all-out coverage break. Is Truth Hope got caught up in a dumpster fire out there on the racetrack.
I gotta wait on you. I didn't know if you were wrecking or if you were wrecking. No, I'm good. It's just telling me to look at 33 by 2.
Let's go back to the
I'm coming around.
GRN instant replay.
I'm coming down the back stretch.
See what happened here to Truth. Gonna run it, slow things down, and let's go to the eye in the sky here. See what the chopper picked up.
No, I know. I was gonna ask you and see how bad my
absolutely got rocked. Go ahead and wind that back actually a little bit so we can get some better insight exactly of how this unfolded here. We go old school VHS mode. And that should be good. Slow the playback down a little bit. This is going to pop off. The fuse is going to get lit on the high side of the racetrack here.
All right, man.
You can see the contact. As he tried to come up, was not clear. He's going to go up there. He's going to get some self-inflicted concrete poisoning. The front of that truck is going to explode. And then it's just all-out mayhem from there. You see the 55 gets involved. The 6. That's going to be Kirk Martin. As he's going to go through a rail slide, Tony Hawk style, through the grass here. In fact, let's go and watch this playback one more time from Kurt Martin's point of view here. This is going to be a wild ride on board.
Going to be checking up here on the back stretch.
With Martin. Just has nowhere to go. That hole plugs up so quickly. And after that, he's just holding on along for the ride. As we know, go back to the live side of things.
Checking up hard, going into 4.
Kinsley Smith continues to lead here as at iRacing.com. Chevrolet back out in front. Virtually everyone coming down pit road. As you can see here, our pit strategy vector, stint length. Everyone down on lap 28. Kinsley Smith also the second biggest mover of the race in that P1 position. And again, having a great run here early on. Kirby Wayne Scott in the 10. In that up 13, biggest mover of the race thus far throughout. Again, want to thank everyone for joining us here live on Ghost Racing Network. I'm Matt Metler up here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Booth. As always, what a great way to kick off a holiday weekend with some high octane, high energy. Racers Elite action. So as lights go off on the pace track. As we get this field now wrapped and stacked, ready to rock and roll once again. A quick look at the weather while we have the time. It feels like Florida. I'm kidding. It's only 68 degrees. It's about 92 right now. However, that humidity is great, 95%. It feels like a swamp in the air. At 7-degree track temperature.
38, you're up here.
Truck's going to be making all the grip, but tires really not a big deal here at Daytona. Anyhow, but these trucks are going to be making all the power tonight. You've been seeing that in the lap time thus far here so far. Get ready to go back to green flag action. Back, let's go on with Kirby Wayne Scott here for the restart. Green flag back in the air, loud on the hard pedal, and climbing back through the H pattern as the glorious V8s come roaring back to life in Daytona. See him giving a good push there to Kinsley Smith. He's taking it like a champ, too. Well, you say, hey, Matt, well, how close exactly is he getting? Here you go. He is welded to the back of that Silverado. Here comes the spicy chicken from Kentucky. It's getting hot and heavy out there. Let's go. Field cleanly back up to speed here, or getting back up to speed here at Daytona, I should say. Is Kinsley Smith out there doing what Kinsley Smith does. But I'll tell you what, this 23 machine, Burdick, has looked really competitive. And that F-150 paint scheme on that truck as well, as he commands the high side of the racetrack. And while we're back to green flag racing, we're going to step away and complete our all-out coverage segment right here on Ghost Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here with us. On board with Kinsley Smith as he runs in that third and final podium position here. Live on Coast Racing Network. Once again, Racers Elite, as always, putting on a thriller here in primetime as they switch over to the trucks tonight for 80 laps at the Big House in Daytona. Truth Hoke also having a great showing as well, as we were on board with him during the all-out coverage break. Continues to be Jason Burdick, Brandon Honeycutt, Kinsley Smith, Jordan Proctor, and Truth Hoke. Halfway through this 80-lap affair. We just have some contact. Oh, yeah, wait, there it goes, the 20. The Home Depot machine just absolutely bit all the biscuits into the wall. There it goes.
Wow, 38.
38. What were you doing, buddy?
I hope the double yellow line doesn't apply for that car.
Shane Trotter there in the 38. Obviously, that was a miscue. I don't think that was intentional, but that was some wild piece of action there. Trying something new here tonight, guys. Bringing you some of the in-car or in-race audio chatter between these drivers in real time. However, due to the incident on the track, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn that off just because I don't want to have any controversial content bleed over. But it's great, you know, for you guys at home as we try to make this more realistic like you see live on TV. Shane Trotter now is going to drop that Hooters truck back to that 19th position. We now take the camera point back to the front of this piece. Continues to be Burdick, Honeycutt, Kinsley Smith, and Jordan Proctor. In fact, you're starting to get a three-truck train breakaway. There's a tongue twister for you. You know, if they can get absolutely, well, they had an opportunity there, but again, this new package of this truck really makes it hard to get away and to get, you know, runs like you used to, in my opinion. Oh, big time side draft there. Hello. I don't know if he meant to do that or if that just kind of got sucked into him a little bit, perhaps. Looks like Brandon Honeycutt there getting a big case of the pinkies as well. So here in the sim racing world, you don't have to worry so much about, you know, accidents like you do in real life, but one of the silent killers, and especially one that can just come out of nowhere, is a connection problem, and the last place you want to do this is at Daytona.
Hey, 11, can you go high when we get to you?
We'll continue to bring you the in-car audio
Go high.
or in-truck audio as long as it stays.
Yep, going high right now.
Oh, what'd you say? As long as it stays clean. Got a lap truck here. He's going to stick to the high side of the racetrack. I believe that's Kyle Hess. No, it is not Kyle Hess. That could be Chris Bassey in the 11. That is Bassey. He does a great job staying out of the way. Keeps that truck glued to the wall. Last thing you want to do is Kevin LePage in the field. And if you don't know what that is, after this race or any point in time, just go to YouTube and type in Kevin LePage Daytona. Sit back, get some popcorn, and prepare to be amazed as Chris Bassey, not having the run he was looking for, is currently off the pace in that 17th place position. Again, these guys absolutely flying around here right now. Last time by for Burdick ran a 47.85. Fast lap of the race. with a 47.14. An absolute missile. Jordan A. Briers with a 47.14. He has the fastest truck out there, single lone lap in race trip. Or racing state on the racetrack.
Damn, 38.
.38 here again. Shane Trotter. I'm sure that's got to be carrying over and aggravating some of these guys. Whoa. Let's go on with Shane Trotter here and see what's going on with this guy. Maybe he's got some damage to the truck. Maybe there's something going on that can't see from camera 1, camera 2, but going on board can tell the story. At least give us some more insights potentially what the problem here is. Some of these guys run a little offset in the wheel. Oh, God, there it goes. The broadcaster's curse strikes again as Trotter is in the wall. I'm telling you guys, it happens more oftentimes than not. I go on board with somebody and mayhem breaks loose. 8 times out of 10. In fact, it already happened once tonight, and here we go again. Try to go on board with Shane Trotter. And that truck got yeeted. I think he had some help getting into the fence there, judging by the amount of wheel that he had to throw in that thing all of a sudden. But that's going to not throw the caution out. We're going to stay green, and he is going to fall way, way off the pace here because of it. Definitely the don't stain your ride, use tide moment of the race thus far. As that got ugly quick, fast, and in a hurry. Take it back up to the point. Jason Burdick, your current leader over Honeycutt, Todd Swanson, and Kinsley Smith. And that bottom lane has just done a beautiful job pretty much all race long, staying formed up and lined up. Of course, Honeycutt, Kinsley Smith, and some of these other guys, they get a lot of practice racing together on a weekly basis. They have that chemistry from running in Racers Elite, and you can see that really proving dividends out here right now on the racetrack, especially in a plate configuration. Tell you what, that top lane, they've been committed at times trying to get that top lane going. In fact, that TRD-powered machine, as they say, let's go places, that's exactly what the 24 of Proctor is doing. Working there with the 18 machine of Jordan A. Briers. They got the afterburner dial set to kill, and here they come. What a drafting job by the Toyotas on the high side. I didn't think they would be. Oh, God. Hold it, save it, save it, save it. The 22 is in the wall. He muffs it in the fence again. He wiggles, he bobbles, razzle dazzles. He's still in the fence. He cuts down the racetrack. Holy good Lord.
You want to go high, Dwayne?
Yep, sure will.
Talk about woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you what, that race suit may need some bleach after that one. Oh, my God. Woo! I think I was more freaked out than he was up here in the booth. I don't know how that did uncork a nuclear warhead on the racetrack. It should have. Some of the saves tonight have been absolutely amazing. We work lap 51 of 80. We're going to step aside, pay some bills, fulfill our commercial obligations, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Redline Racing Network.
Alright, I have that bandage here. I'm gonna let you guys go in front of me.
Race fans, welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, live here on Ghost Racing Network. Myself, Matt Metler, up in the Ghost Racing broadcast, aka Tony Trapasso Memorial Booth, as we are currently watching Brandon Honeycutt start to get the place of the Twitches out there. Oh, Kensley Smith probably doesn't want to be anywhere but there right now. Talk about having some faith in the guy in front of you. That is probably worst case scenario for Kensley Smith. If that was me, I'd be madder than a Keebler elf that got demoted to Fudge Packer seeing that in front of me. Only because you could literally have him ghost out, no pun intended. And literally you wind up inside the cockpit with him and things just explode and miraculous things can happen. I've seen trucks go space shuttle status. Just not a good spot, place you don't want to be in. Get all the graphics back up on the screen again for everybody at home. Now with just 25 laps remaining from Daytona. This race has been a high-octane thrill ride. Strap yourself into an F-15 Strike Eagle and go out there and do battle with 19 of some of the best plate racers out there, and here you go. Again, things starting to get a little strung out right now here. You're starting to see a little separation Well, what separation we have is now closed up as Kirby Wainscott there is now caught the back of the 10, or of Zimmerman, I should say, excuse me, in that momentarily three-truck breakaway we had with Burdick, Honeycutt, and Smith is now formed one single line train. Oh, is the 6 of Kurt Martin gets a little out of shape there. He gets loose, comes up the racetrack. I thought that would have left a hole there perhaps for the 65 of Zimmerman to get by. Or excuse me, that's the 55 of Truth Hope. Kirk Martin is the truck that doesn't appear to have a paint loaded on it. It looks a lot like Truth's paint. Oh, hold on to it. It was almost Duncan time, literally. As that truck got big time loose. That's going to be the 17 of Aaron Marquise. Let's go on board with Aaron. Seems to be putting a little more wheel input into that truck than you typically like to see, but again, every driver looking for a different feel as far as your steering ratio, your offset. And we got pit stops underway right now. We have one group coming down into pit road as we were on board. Kyle Hess, one of the drivers coming down pit road there. I believe Kirby Wainscott was one of them as well in the 10. This is going to be his money stop. Should be fuel only. I'm not seeing any jack work there going on at the time being. See if Andrew Teft comes down this time by. He does not. Teft last down on lap 59, so he should be, I think, good to go the rest of the way. As Jason Burdick continues to lead. Again, timing and scoring acting up a little bit. We have our graphics team. See if they can clear that up once again. Apologize for that. Some more pit stops currently take place out there on the racetrack. This is going to be it. This is going to be the money stop. This is the one that counts. Here you got to execute. Doing a great job there, getting it done. Everyone leaving in sync on pit road. This is best case scenario here as Kinsley Smith is going to lead this group off. See there, Kinsley Smith leading over Jason Burdick, Brandon Honeycutt, Jonathan Proctor, as these three guys have virtually been the class of this race thus far. Kinsey Smith continues to lead over Jason Burdick, Honeycutt, Jonathan Proctor, Brandon Zimmerman. Kirby Wainscott still having a great run here. And how about Andrew Teff, the man, the myth, the legend, the HMFIC of the league as well. Having a phenomenal run here tonight in that 7th place position. So many times he's so close, gets taken out or caught up in something at the end here. Let's see if he can put one together and get himself a podium or perhaps a win. Again, cannot thank Andrew Teft enough for everything that he does for the league. As you're on board with Chicken Coop Racing, Andrew Teft in that P7 position. You see the battle for the top 4 positions there on the racetrack in the battle box, for the battle for first, I should say. We take it back up front now to your leader. He is holding a pretty wheel. It's all about, that's what it's all about. Steady inputs here. You don't want to make anything drastic. That all scrub speed off. As a driver, you got to have, it's going to sound a little funny, but soft hands. You're at a plate track like this. You know, like I said before, if we flip the screen around here, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So he's got a face full of Brandon Honeycutt literally leaning on him. So you take a peek under the hood at that 358-inch cubic monster in that Chevrolet. Finally able to get SDK to refresh and get the traditional ticker back up there on the screen. Sometimes using multiple pieces of software, things don't always want to act right. I think we got that under control as we are just 11 laps to go here from Daytona. Again, want to thank everyone for joining us on board here live tonight. Be a part of the chat. Sound off. Let us know who you're rooting for. And again, you're looking to support the cause, join the family. Smash the like button, ring the bell as Brandon Honeycutt gets shuffled out of line as Not sure. No, that was a planned move, but the 24 was there. Proctor. He's seen it coming. I think he's seen this before. I don't believe it. We got one in the grass. He got one. Kapowie. There it goes. Helicopter mode. We got the... Did you see that move? That was something straight out of the X Games. This gonna pop a caution. Good Lord, that truck was literally dancing around. Now that looked like the right rear. I've never seen one spin like that. Proctor got punted. So we go back here to the GRN instant replay. Let's slow things down here. See, he gets just nerfed down the double yellow. Goes full-blown grass mode. It's going to come back up into traffic and uncorks Mayhem, a howitzer. Then watch the DoorDash machine. Oh, he's on top of the roof. I was absolutely incredible. Guess he was playing some PD Pablo. Raise up. He was literally spinning like a helicopter. Let's go ahead and wind that back. While we're winding it back, let's change up the viewage. Let's go to the eye in the sky here for the chopper. And one more time here from Zimmerman. It all starts just getting a push off the top, comes down to the grass, comes up and absolutely clobbers, smokes that truck. And let's pause that right there. And let's go. This is absolutely just nuts. You're now on board with Zimmerman. Let's wind this back. Let's call that back one more time. This is going to get absolutely wild. See, we lost the camera there for a minute. You're now in the cockpit with Zimmerman. See, it starts to go bad. He gets just absolutely smoked in the quarter panel. You see his rail sliding it on the side, the passenger side of his truck. Comes down. And he is just holding on for the ride at that point. Wild moment there for the 65, Brandon Zimmerman. So we now go back to the live side of things. How many times have we seen this at Daytona? Late in the race, big time incident on the racetrack. Cautions certainly breed cautions, and a lot of times that it can influence or get you into overtime if you wanted a little bit more. You weren't satisfied enough at home with what you're seeing. A lot of times this can turn into an overtime situation, especially when you rack and stack, put the field back on top of each other. Everyone's going to be pushing, fighting, doing everything they can to gain an inch out there on the racetrack. As it's Burdick, Smith, Teft, Honeycutt, and Martin. Your top five as they run right now. iRacing.com pace truck back out on the racetrack. Lights are out, of course. We broke down that last big-time incident that just took place. A wild ride for Zimmerman in the 65. Give these chance to these drivers to reach up there, as Darrell Waltrip would say, pull those belts tight one more time. Go up there, wipe off the visor while you're at it. Make sure Grandma's got a reload of plenty of kernel-free popcorn. She's over here absolutely fired up. Shaking her life alert over her head, absolutely vibing with the racing action out there on the racetrack. Yeah, my old broadcast partner, Tony Trapasso, would absolutely have been through the roof of this place with that last one, the way it uncorked. SRM side of things. Really miss that guy, especially when I'm calling plate races. That was some of the best times I had with that guy. Just up here watching some great super speedway action in the booth with him. Here we go. Pace truck's gonna pull off. Let's go on board with the 15 for this restart. Green flag back in the air. We can follow him as he comes up through the gearbox. His telemetry going to be in the bottom right-hand corner as you're on board with Kinsley Smith. Let's see if the North Carolina man has the plan to put the 15 in victory lane. You see the speeds now climbing, now over 170 miles an hour. He's got it in that H pattern and set to fourth, and the afterburner is roaring. Flip the camera around here. And of course, you guessed it, just like I was telling you earlier, Brandon Honeycutt. It's the Shake and Bake boys, I'm telling you, they do this so often. And it's so fun to watch. Just 5 laps to go. Handshake lap. So everyone chasing Jason Burdick. Here comes Andrew Teft. I told you, man, this guy is better than the finishes that he gets. And he is hitting plenty of chances, had nice opportunities that have just been absolutely erased from existence at times, getting Daytona'd. That 98 has to come out on top. In one of these, he is just too good. And he is right where he wants to be now. Second in line on the bottom lane. So you have Burdick and Teft on the bottom going up against Smith and Honeycutt on the high side. We're a little bit further back there doing a little Indy snake action. Is that Doritos machine has already had some spicy moments out there on the racetrack. Seen some great driving out of him tonight, too. I mean, a couple of the saves he had, just absolutely incredible out of Todd Swanson. So here we go, 3 laps remaining. Open turns, 1 and 2 complex. We now fired down the backstretch. Got some movement there. Oh, here we go. Don't hold on to it. The Dunkin' Donuts machine almost got sent up the hill there. He's got to whoa that truck up, get it back underneath him. I don't know if he's getting some country-style slam jam shoving behind him or not. Doesn't look like it. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Oh, my God, there he goes again. That is like death wobble on a motorcycle. That 17 just starts to throw a Tourette's. It seems like anytime anyone starts to push that truck, he is doing the bob and weave. Just 2 laps to go. Hopefully he can keep that machine underneath him. As here we go, it's game time. This is as a driver, all bets are off the window. There are no more teammates. You switch the light switch to kill. Your eyes go red and you are looking for a checkered flag. Oh, 3 wide, now 4 wide. Here we go. Someone just ate the fence. And of course, pops off the big one behind him as we got trucks going airborne in the back. However, we're going to stay green. As it is a hot dumpster fire at the back of the field. Lloyd, Richard Lowe's, Jordan A. Breyers, Alex Teft involved. That Dunkin' Donuts truck did not make it to the end, unfortunately. But we got to send it back to the front. Here we go. Here comes Teft trying to use the black hole up the middle. Here comes the 98 of Andrew Teft. He's got help from the 6 of Kurt Martin. Andrew Teft is saying, come on, Kurt, but you're my favorite partner. Oh, no, there goes Teft. It happens again. And at the line, it's going to be, no surprise, Kinsley Smith takes another one at Daytona. Brandon Honeycutt. Oh, as they both wreck after. Oh, here comes DoorDash. It's a 3-way affair into turn 1 as we're going to tear it up in heartbreak. Once again for Andrew Teft. Oh, man, that is absolutely heartbreaking for Teft. I thought he was going to get a podium. I legitimately thought he had a shot. I feel horrible. Another win in the bag for Kinsley Smith. Going here now. Let's get ready to do some interviews from the top 3 here. What a wild finish to that race. Kinsley Smith, he's just so good. And when you got a wingman like Brandon Honeycutt, it is hard to dethrone those guys. It really is. Absolutely incredible. Watch Kinsley Smith again, turning to celebrate and burning the house down, and why not? Race winner. We're looking for Kurt Martin. See if we can find him. He's the 3rd place finisher. Again, I'm not seeing Kurt Martin in the Discord here. Going ahead, taking a peek, going to take a look for him one more time. But you know what? We got Andrew Teft. See if we can get him. Andrew Teft, Matt up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy there, brother?
Yeah, I got you. How's it going?
Man, I just saw one of the most wildest finishes I ever seen at Daytona. First, the final lap, you have the big one that goes off in the back. You got trucks going skybound. You keep it green. And I really thought you were going to finally have one come back your way. You've been so close in these things at the end. You had a lot of help there from the 6. And it just seemed like coming out of the 3-4 complex, things suddenly didn't go your way. Walk me through the finish there for you.
Yeah, I was surrounded by teammates there, so I was trying to kind of play a chess match while also driving 190 miles per hour.
Right.
So, yeah, Yeah, I think the six just wanted to move up and help me there and, you know, come to the line, but just slight miscalculation and got my corner and spun and was just along for the ride. So, but yeah, we're just going for the win and just a matter of inches and 1 inch off, stuff like that happens, or even less.
Hey, well said. And that is Daytona, and also being Daytona. And you're right on the miscalculation. That was clearly teammates trying to help you and just work with you there. And as you said, a fraction of an inch and everything can go wrong. And you went for a wild ride there in an instant. Hey, before I cut you loose, man, tell these guys that are watching right now, if they want to become part of some great league racing action here on iRacing, how do they find Racers Elite? What's the best way to get involved?
Oh yeah, just head on over to our website, racerselite.com. That'll get you invites to our Discord servers and holds all of our standings, our schedules, all of our information. If anybody needs to reach me, just join our Discord and you can find me, Andrew Tuft. Shoot me a message. We'll get you registered for any of our series or any of our future single events.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. He put out a great show tonight in prime time. Didn't get the finish he wanted, but certainly had the performance under the hood. And if you're interested in getting in all things Racers Elite related, he's the man to go reach out to. He can hook you up. And like I said, they do everything extremely well here in Racers Elite. You'll be glad you came. Andrew, thanks for joining me up here in the booth. I greatly appreciate your time.
Yeah, I'm going to head on over to the infield care center. That was a pretty big hit.
Yes, sir. Continue on with our interviews. I know Kinsley Smith is going to be around. We're looking for Kinsley Smith and Honeycutt. There's Kinsley Smith. Grab him, throw him here in the booth. Kinsley Smith, Matt up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, another Daytona race in that 15 truck. Doesn't matter if it's a truck, Xfinity car, next gen. It just seems you always have the right formula and the right teammate to get the job done. Congratulations on yet another win, sir.
Thank you, sir. It just seems like I am the reincarnated Michael Waltrip. I'm shit everywhere else, but restrictor plates, I'm good at them.
I think you're pretty darn good everywhere I've seen you run, but especially here on the plate tracks, man. It just seems like you just put that paint scheme on whatever you're running, and it's almost guaranteed to win. But I mean, you can't do it without the help of your teammates. It looked like Brandon Honeycutt was really working with you once again tonight as well.
Oh yeah, Brandon Honeycutt, and then Jason Burdick. He's another teammate. He was in front of me on that second run before that last caution. So it all worked out pretty good. Stayed up at the front the whole time. Qualified first, of course, so that helped a lot to be able to stay up there.
You know, talk to me about this new package. I know the truck got one of the biggest iRacing makeovers probably, they said, in history since, it was first brought to the service. Has a lot changed with the drafting package, or is it still the same, or have you noticed some difference or changes in there?
To me, it feels like all around in all of the NASCAR cars, it's harder to get runs on the top side. So you're kind of just stuck there until like the bottom line has to check up or something, and it just kind of makes everything a little bit more frustrating. It's hard to get used to being able before the update, being able to just get a run and just fly by people on the bottom. But now you can't do that. It's like that front car on the top side will always like just hit a wall. Like they hit that wall of dirty air and they just can't go anywhere. So you kind of just have to sit around and wait, and it's a game of patience now. You can't just lay back and get a run and just pass everybody now. And then on top of that, like the trucks, they're just so bouncy when it comes to restrictor plate racing now. They're hard to control a little bit. So you kind of just have to be very careful with everything you do now.
Yeah, some great insight there and feedback, obviously, from someone that knows how to get it done out there on the racetrack. Kinsley Smith, we appreciate it, man. And before we cut you loose, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 15?
Of course, first and foremost, my daughter, who's sitting next to me, asleep in her chair. She started off watching me. She's falling asleep now, but her, of course, she's the light of my world, and she just looking at her gets me through my day. So, and then of course my teammates at Driving Extreme Inc. Just like tonight, we always work together. Great. And it has nothing to do with restrictor plate tracks. We work together great everywhere. We give each other pointers when we need them and stuff
sir.
like that. And Andrew for putting this on for us, and of course you for putting on the broadcast.
Well, hey man, I got a 5 and 7-year-old myself. I know what you mean about having your kids up there with you, or just spending some time with you, sitting next to you, watching your race. It's moments like that you'll remember the rest of your life. I could not agree with you more, man. And to your point, you're right. You guys you do it everywhere. It's not just the restrictor plate tracks. You guys always seem to have a synchronicity to you guys. You can see, the level of teamwork every time I'm in a session, whether if it's in the booth or on the racetrack. I can see just how well and how fine-tuned you guys are as a team, and it certainly translates over to performance on the racetrack. Want to thank you for joining me up here in the booth. Tell Brandon I would have loved to talk to him, but I don't see him in the Discord. And you have a great evening, my friend.
Yes, sir. Brandon had to jump off. It's a little late for him, so
10-4.
thanks, sir.
Thank you, Kinsley. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Had a chance to talk with the HMFIC, Andrew Teft, as well as North Carolina's own Kinsley Smith in the 15, who's just such a force to be reckoned with when you're talking about Racers Elite. And I'm not hyping this up. I mean, this guy is good in the Xfinity car, the truck, the next gen. He knows how to put the car in victory lane. Very talented individual. Well, only one thing left to do. Let's go ahead. Take a look at the final results here tonight. So we pull that graphic down. Again, want to thank everyone for joining us right here on Ghost Racing Network. High fly and high octane racing action here from Daytona. Final results should be up on the screen. Thank you, graphics team. Kinsley Smith gets the win. His dance partner tonight and teammate in the 13, Brandon Honeycutt, comes home second. Kurt Martin in that 6 machine gets the podium in third. Todd Slauson, in the 22 comes home fifth. 6 belongs to Dwayne McMahon. Coming home seventh, Jonathan Proctor. Kirby Wainscott having a great run in the 10 ride tonight, comes home eighth. Ninth belongs to Andrew Teft. I thought he was going to get a podium. I did, until mayhem broke loose coming out of 4. Ninth, and then Rowan Lloyd rounds out your top 10. Richard Ode, Jordan Briers, Alex Teft, Aaron Marquise, and Jason Burdick round out the top 15. 16th, Truth Hoke in the 55 ride. Coming across the line, 17th, Chris Blassie, and Shane Trotter in the 38 round out the 18 drivers that took the initial green flag here tonight. And as the late, great Tony Trapasso always used to say, ladies and gentlemen, as you go down the road of life this week, do us all the favor. Don't play in traffic, and we'll see you next time right here on Ghost Racing Network.